How's it going, everybody? Jeff Slakey continuing my candidate conversations here in 2023 with Mark Frazier, who's running for Shelton City Council position number 5. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great this morning. How are you, Jeff?
I'm good. It's good to see you. We are here on Railroad, right in the shadow of the clock tower, and your kind of whole campaign, your email address from Shelton, for Shelton. Talk to me about you being in Shelton and why you're running now.
Well, from Shelton, for Shelton, born and raised, born at Mason General Hospital, graduated Shelton High School in 2000. Talking about that off camera a little bit earlier about how time flies and how we all grow and the things that we see here, like the clock tower behind us as we speak is literally 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember when that was put in. I remember before that was here, and it's been a staple for a long time. Let the truck go by there. Been stable for a long time, but it's 20 years. That just flies by. And part of that is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, what have you seen in your time here? I mean, remembering when they put this up to your time now running, the city's changed a lot.
Yeah, we've seen lots of change. We saw a lot of growth, and then it sort of plateaued off. And I think that a lot of that was economically driven. We got a big box store, even longer than 20 years ago now, which changed the trajectory of a lot of the small businesses and stuff like that. There's still a lot of room. There's still a lot of amazing folks. There's still a lot of great businesses here. It's time to bring that back. I know the downtown corridor in particular has really, over the years, tried to highlight small business. There's been some amazing events. The Chamber of Commerce does such incredible work, but sometimes I think it gets overshadowed by some of the bigger state and national problems that do affect us, but we forget about all the great small things here that have always been here but kind of fly under the radar.
So what's kind of your platform? When you're out talking with groups or people, what do you say when they're like, well, what are we doing? We're voting for you because why?
My platform is I'm a Sheltonite. I don't have a vested interest. I don't have a business. I don't have any kind of lobby sort of thing. But the decisions we're making affect me and my family on a personal basis. So it's going to come out here real soon, and our water and sewer rates, they're going up, and it's unfortunate. It's the cost of doing business. That's going to affect me. That's going to affect my neighbors. It's going to affect everybody I talk to.
Yeah.
And so when I have these conversations about who I am, I literally say I'm one of you. I'm Shelton. I'm a Sheltonite. Born and bred, lifelong resident. Been owned my house for 17 years now.
Wow.
And so I've seen the effects of sewer rate, of the change in our garbage service over the years. From weekly pickups to every other week, and the changes we've had to make, and all that stuff has affected me and my family. It's affected my friends, and being part of the city council, I can be part of that decision-making process and be the voice.
Talk to me about how you plan to build the consensus within the city council to kind of come around to your ideals.
I've been watching all the study sessions, and I've been watching all of the meetings. They're all on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think we need to realize that our citizens are very intelligent. They're also very hardworking. They deserve the truth, and they deserve to be spoken to. Again, just the most recent buzz with the sewer rates. I think if you explain to your citizens how we got here, why we're here, and then the benefits of these decisions now versus later, I think you'll be able to get people around.
Yeah.
It is a nonpartisan position. But people still have strong feelings either way. I have friends that I see both sides, and I think having that strong presence that's willing to look at both sides of the fence, and I think those conversations they'll bring to, fruition. But I think being the voice of reason in the room.
Are you concerned at all with the trajectory of the city right now as you walk these streets that we're on here today? The conversations, as if you're watching the meetings, there's always conversations about Brewer Park or homelessness in downtown or this other thing or that other thing. And now the new one, too, is, in addition to the water and sewer, is property taxes that have gone up for a lot of folks as well.
And I'm feeling that. I live here, and I saw my assessment, and I absolutely I know what that feels like. I'm living it for sure.
So are you seeing, where's the path Shelton is heading now, and Is your candidacy to help change that path a little bit, or what?
So Shelton has potential, has untapped potential. We're outside, beautiful day, mid-September. I can think of no place else I'd rather be right now. I wish there were more people out here.
Yeah.
My goal, my dream, my vision would be to make this a destination place where people wanted to go. And I think cleaning up some of the, I don't want to say messes, but some of the problems that we're seeing. Brewer Park comes up a lot. I don't know if you've been over there recently. Our local community groups, our nonprofit groups have all been working together every week to help the folks over there, and I think they've been doing a fantastic job.
I've seen that.
We've seen a increased police presence. They're enforcing the codes and the ordinances and doing an incredible job. I think we could have done this a little while ago and maybe gotten ahead of it, but it is what it is. We're here now, and I think that's the. I'm gonna let this truck go by. Part of being outside.
It is.
I think that we're here now, and we can argue and infight about how we got here, or we can band together and work on getting out of it and moving forward.
Past is a past.
Exactly. I mean, we need to learn from it. We need to pay attention to it, but we can't fight about what we can't change. And the Brewer Park example has been fantastic to watch. We have 3 different nonprofit groups. We have Crossroads Housing, we have Community Lifeline, and we have the Youth Connection. They're sending staff out there at 6:30 in the morning. They're talking to everybody. They're offering the services and making sure that folks understand that there is help out there. There is places to stay. There is food available. There is a way to get out of the darkness. And I think it's a great allegory for Shelton. People are kind of thinking it's really dark right now, and if we keep dwelling on the darkness, we're not going to be able to see the future.
Yeah, that's a good point. We took a pause as a huge Sierra Pacific truck came right back down Rail Road. So how do you square up the business community, like the Sierra Pacifics here in our town, and the citizenry, and help everybody work together?
We have a couple of big businesses. And if you look at the numbers, I don't have them on top of my head, but every year we see the jobs and who provides what.
Yeah.
Any decision we need to make sure we don't alienate those folks, but we also need to make sure they participate, and there's some balance there. You can't solve any major problems on one entity or one business's back, and that's not fair. We all need to make sure we're doing our part. On the flip side, we need to create an environment in Shelton with our business planning, with our ordinances, with our inspection and permitting department that people want to come work with. One of the campaign questions that comes up, and I need to get a better handle on it, is the city is hard to work with.
Sure, I've heard that.
I hear that. But I can't get specific examples. I'm not trying to put anybody on the line and say it's one person or one department.
Yeah.
But we should be working on getting rid of that stigma. More
that's
businesses.
That's a good point. Hold on a second. Let's think about this, because that's a really good point. The city is hard to work with. Yeah. There is hundreds of people that work in the city.
Yes.
And we know a lot of them personally. Yeah. And they are not hard to work with. But for some reason, some person has one barrier, and then it's that word spreads, that it's an entire municipality that's difficult. How do we... But that's not the way. How do you show the citizens that that's not the way?
I think it's going to take the businesses to working with the city on a hand-to-hand basis. I'm looking across the street at successful businesses that have been open.
Yeah.
And getting in with those owners and proprietors and asking what worked and didn't work, finding out what your challenges were.
Yeah.
Because obviously they overcame those challenges because they're here. And then, creating a to-do list, a cleanup list, and finding a way to process. A lot of it's going to come down to budgetary. I know the city recently had to cut a couple of customer service spots halfway through the budget year.
Yeah.
Which was not a decision that they took lightly. But we gotta keep the lights on and pay the bills. But the more of these businesses that we're looking at here that can be open, that's some more opportunities for revenue. That's more reason to draw people to our community. Ultimately, that's going to help solve a lot of our problems.
Mark Frazier is running for the Shelton City Council position number 5 here in the city of Shelton. And we're just continuing these candidate conversations, just a good chance to get to know Mark a little bit more. I've known him for many years in his work with the fire service. And real nice guy, real easy to talk to. And he's out and we'll answer your questions. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Jeff, for having me.
How can people get in touch, or what's the website or Facebook?
So From Shelton for Shelton on Facebook, also From Shelton for Shelton at gmail.com. I treat it pretty much like a text message services.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to get a hold of me, continue these conversations, I do want to hear people's concerns.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to, is these conversations. So please reach out, please schedule some time. Let's go have coffee at one of our small businesses, and let's do whatever they can to make Shelton awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jeff.